I had to learn this myself. Like, all decisions lead with emotion. Good decisions come back and there's logic behind them that support them. So all decisions start by you have an emotional response to it, and then you apply it to logic, and if there's rationale there, okay, you've got a good decision. Bad decisions, 9 out of 10, come when you are actually, you have an emotional response to something and you make a split-second decision. You never take it over to the other side of the brain and kind of cross-check it against logic. And then you get down the road and have regret and be like, well, man, I made a bad, yeah, you did make a bad decision because you never stopped and slowed down. And we are back with another episode of the Julius Files. I am your host, Jason Julius, and today we are doing a Q&JP where, I don't know, I think I'm going to have to give some answers today, but it's more about the Julius perspective, and I give you the perspective and you find your own answers so that you can hold yourself personally accountable. And I have my co-host here with me today, Mr. Matt Bradshaw. You want to say hi? And
they know who I am.
Yeah, and Miss Tori, I want to say that because I'm open with something that I feel like I might actually need to go into it myself, because I'm being told that I have some difficult questions headed my way today. But today for myself, I want to speak on meditation. I mean, as I have been learning and reading and practicing when it comes to meditation is something that, as I'm reading, I find a lot of people successful people that they say that meditation has a lot to do with their success. And then I kind of like to break everything down into layman's terms. So it took me a hot minute to understand more about meditation in general and the basic premise of meditation. And there are different techniques out there. But generally what I tell everybody is that, as far as my personal meditation, I will go into a dark room and generally set and cross my legs. And I do the pose where, I'll touch my fingers. They're resting on my legs, but it's not about that for me.
Do you do the hum?
No. The thing is a version, but not the hum. It's a couple things. One, I listen to my breathing, because it's deep breaths in through the nose and deep exhales out through the mouth. And as I'm doing it, I am trying, as I'm breathing, paying attention to your breathing, trying to correct my posture, because when you sit down like that, you'll sit down and you'll kind of slouch. So in every deep breath in, I'm slowly straightening up my posture, and every deep breath out, I'm not letting my posture slouch, so that as I'm going through it, my posture is getting better and better. But that's not the point of what I wanted to get through to people when it comes to meditating. The biggest thing about meditating is being present, like present in your own mind. So I pay attention to my breathing, and your brain is going to trail off. And that is the challenge of meditation, is that if you're trying to be present in the moment, your brain's pretty powerful, so it will start trailing off. And that's what I want to get across to people. The point of meditation is to be in the moment and accept your brain is going to trail off, and you're going to be like, hey, that's not what we're doing right now. Get back here. So part of meditation, whether it be for 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, is being present in the moment, paying attention to your breathing, concentrate on making very deep breaths in through your nose and exhales through your mouth, listening to that breathing and that being the focus itself, and understanding your brain is going to trail off. And it's in those moments that you snatch your brain and pull it back and be like, hey, that's not what we're here to do right now. We're here to concentrate on our breathing, and in the moment, in the silence, just to be present in the moment. Now, I'll do this for 10 or 15 minutes, and then I will, at the end of it, when I'm ready to come out of it, I will rub my fingers, and it's like I know I've accomplished something when I can feel like that energy, like I have completed a good session of just being present in that moment. Then in that moment, I center myself, and I'm able to go out into the world and I'm less rattled. So when I come across people like my chief technology officer sitting here, Matt, that decides that he wants to give me a hard time or mess with me, I'm starting from a better, more peaceful, centered state of mind, because I know that part of the pleasure that he takes in his life is rattling my cage and seeing what he gets out of me. So I really do.
I don't know if that's entirely fair.
It's like you've taken it as a point of pride here lately that I'm like, come on, dude, I don't want yes men around me. So I understand that it is like you're going to disagree with me. You just don't have to disagree with everything that I say. And I think that you do it sometimes just for a reaction.
Everything?
And the thing is I think it's funny that over time, like you'll think about what you disagreed and then you'll come back around and be like, okay, I see where you're coming from. So now I agree with you. But the point being, yeah, exactly.
Somewhat.
More often than not, because again, I spent a long part of my life being wrong more than I was right. So I'm now at that stage in life where I know I'm right more than I'm wrong. So
opinions vary.
Yes, you're exactly right. Opinions do vary, and I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable with that. So again, meditating is a very good thing, and the whole purpose is just to be in the moment. And when you're sitting there in the moment, you concentrate and you listen to your breathing, and then you go out of your way to snatch your brain back once you realize that it's trailing off and drifting into an area that it's not being present. So okay, that is my opening. Now, and I guess, Matt, you went last time, so we'll save this. Miss Tori, what is your question that you would like my perspective on?
So I feel like I've been dealing with a lot of new people lately and dealing with like resistance or like someone's not entirely present when you're trying to give them criticism, constructive criticism. So I know that's not really a question, but.
No, I mean, I'm taking it as a question. I'm like, look,
part of question mark at the end, it makes it a question.
Part of building a business, part of scaling a business is people. And with people come personalities, and with personalities come emotions. And like I built a business with females, predominantly a female-led organization, because I can understand feelings and emotions are not necessarily logical. I did that because I realized that trying to build a business with men, or at least the service-based serving people business, like I didn't want to deal with the egos. I could deal with the emotions.
That's why he hates me.
No, Matt's got a larger than life ego. There's no two ways about it. We try and keep it in check. But the point is that that resistance that you're talking about is something that you have to just communicate your way through. And there's nothing wrong with you being confident in yourself and your abilities. And you are there to teach, train, guide, coach. And the ones that are up for that, those are the people worth further investing in. The ones that aren't, well, then they haven't grown to a point to become teachable, trainable, coachable. And that is why they say in all of the books, hire slow and fire fast. Because you want to go out of your way to hire the best people that you can, the ones that are teachable, coachable, trainable, and the ones that are not, okay, well, you can't have them hurting the culture, bringing everybody down, hurting the morale in the business. So you get them out, because it takes a group, it takes a village, and a couple bad apples will really screw that up. And when you're trying to build a culture and when you're trying to build an organization, man, you got to be very diligent in weeding out the people that aren't going to fit. I do want to take a step further on that. That's part of the problem that I see that's been coming out of this generation, or out of the people that I'm seeing today. Like, work is not a bad thing. Like, work builds character. Everybody grows up in life and they want to take on responsibilities. Well, responsibilities have to be paid for. And so poo-pooing work is a bad thing, because the reality is, I believe everybody in life should participate in something bigger than themselves.
To have a purpose.
Yes. And it builds character to actually work in general. So the reality is that you got people that are saying you shouldn't work. Like I saw this one dude's TikTok that was literally encouraging people to not turn in a 2 weeks notice. Just quit right then, quit right there. And I'm like, but it's not a high character move. It's actually a shit move. And the reality is it's hurting you. You might have that little jab at the company that you're working for, but what you're doing is negative, and it is having a negative consequence on your own psyche. And if you are justifying that, then you're also likely justifying the victim mentality. And I'm just here to tell you, nobody has any respect for it. Like, it will not get you anywhere in life.
And you never know when you're going to run into one of those people again in another situation, be like, oh, this dude just up and quit one day.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing when it comes to this day and age. Your reputation follows you everywhere you go. You're not going to hide from it. I was one of the lucky ones that I was able to have a childhood before everything was recorded on tape. But today, everything is recorded.
You collected all the Polaroids?
Yeah, no, I know. No, there's still, I think hopefully they've been damaged or destroyed, because I'm sitting there thinking there might be some Polaroids out there of me in my younger years that I wish had not been taken, but it does not matter nonetheless.
For the young people, a Polaroid, you take it, then you would shake.
No.
Look, I know what a Polaroid is. I'm actually in the same situation over here. Like, I still got some out there.
No,
don't need to be out there anymore.
I have destroyed all of my Polaroids.
And again, what I'm trying to get, what I want to stress though for you is that better communication will help you navigate that, which means researching emotional intelligence, because EQ is stronger and easier to put to work than IQ, and understanding that I had to learn this myself. Like, all decisions lead with emotion. Good decisions come back and there's logic behind them that support them. So all decisions start by you have an emotional response to it, and then you apply it to logic, and if there's rationale there, okay, you've got a good decision. Bad decisions, 9 out of 10, come when you are actually, you have an emotional response to something and you make a split-second decision. You never take it over to the other side of the brain and kind of cross-check it against logic. And then you get down the road and have regret and be like, well, man, I made a bad, yeah, you did make a bad decision, because you never stopped and slowed down and was like, is this feeling really a logical feeling? No, not too many people do that, but it is natural for everybody to lead with emotion. So having emotional intelligence and having better communication skills with those people will get you further down the road, because in our organization, accountability, radical candor, extreme ownership, freedom and responsibility. And by freedom and responsibility, I mean having the freedom for people to work without being micromanaged, but also understanding there's responsibility there, that you're going to be held accountable for what you do. So don't do stupid shit. And sooner or later, it still comes down to, you don't walk into any organization and know what you're doing. And if you're not willing to take guidance and coaching and training and development, well, then you're only going to slow down your own personal growth in that organization or in life in general. And it takes all types to make the world go around. So you're finding those. And all you can do is increase your own emotional intelligence and increase your own ability to communicate effectively and let them know I'm here as a coach, a trainer, and a measure of accountability. And ideally, you're going to hold yourself accountable so that when I have to hold you accountable, you're not all sensitive and getting hurt about it, because I'm stating what you should already know. Okay. And now I feel like I
follow up to that.
I need to go have a couple minutes worth of meditation here, because I'm being told that Matt's going to give me a question
that you could get upset about.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. That's yeah. Let's go.
Okay. So inflation, as we just talked about in the previous podcast,
this isn't going to make me mad, but
is extremely high. So I'm trying. How do you determine pay increases year over year for different positions?
How do I do? Well, I mean, the thing is that when it all comes down to it in business, you don't have any choice but to raise prices to keep up with inflation. Normally, you're raising prices, again, just like inflation, it's incremental. Because as a small business, that's one of those things where I think that we probably did a price increase every 18 to 24 months. And I don't know, I mean, some people will say that that's a mistake. I mean, like big competition has generally been pretty, every 6 to 9 months they're installing a price increase. But the point is,
they have the extra money for all the signage and
that's just that struggles a small business. But the point, I have followed inflation and I followed price increases according to what my distributors are increasing my prices, and wage pressures in general, because I think that wage pressures are something that it doesn't just, all of a sudden it hit and now it's here today, gone tomorrow, that kind of thing, that it is a gradual adjustment that I have had to increase wages as we have been moving through this inflation in general. Because I'm like, the average pizza builder was a $10 an hour job, and through inflation, it has become a $12 an hour job.
And for the people who don't know, we're in Indiana.
Yeah, no, and I guess I should say that right there, yeah, because Indiana is a different animal than what in New York or California, the coastal areas.
The cheaper cost of living.
Yeah. Clarifying, Indiana is the cheaper cost of living. Inflation hasn't hit in the same manner that, yes, I'm dealing with it just like everybody else, but I mean, it's really hit out in the coastal areas. But the point being, I mean, every person has to deal with it. Every business owner has to deal with it in their own way. And I would like to think that I have kept pace generally with increasing people's pay as they have contributed, and we get into the meritocracy. I want people in the organization that are always putting me on my heels of wanting to be paid more, because they're producing more, because they deserve more, to always keep me in a position of having to find ways to pay them more, inflation or no inflation. I'm always trying to find ways of perks and things that I can give in general to try and keep pace, not so much with inflation, but with the growth of the business itself. And as more money comes in a meritocracy, the people that work the hardest to actually contribute to that growth are the people that actually deserve to get more, because at the end of the day, I'm still trying to get the same percentages to the bottom line. And in a price increase, if there is more because I made a price increase to adjust for what my suppliers were charging me, well, then ideally that more is also disseminated amongst the group in pay raises over time. But just like with anything else when it comes to small business, because I can't speak towards big business, the good is that small business can move faster than big business. But my statement is that nothing ever happens when you want it to happen. Nothing. I mean, in my brain, we have already built a multi-billion-dollar business, but we're not there yet. We are doing what? I don't know, $4 or $5 million a year. I mean, like $4 or $5 million a year, but in my brain, we're already at billions. So you're looking at your wages, but today, your wages are what they are today, which I do not think are bad wages by any shape or form. But your brain is already to but I want to be making $250,000. I want to be making $500,000. I want to be making $1 million a year. And I'm like, and those are realistic. All of
those would be good.
No, that's what I said. They're realistic because you are one in a meritocracy. And in my core principles and values of freedom, responsibility, radical candor, extreme ownership, like you're at the tops of all of those marks. I'm not taking any of that away from you. But do you have what you want yesterday? No, we're all working towards, we're all moving forward. It's just that you have always been one of the first people that has always gotten more than everybody else. But I recognize you have always given more than everybody else. So it's on me
that bit in there
to make sure that you are always staying ahead of the pack. And I'm happy to do that because, again, you have shown me a 5-year history of you always bring more to the table than generally everybody else. And I wish that I had more like you. I'm grateful for all of the personalities and for what most of the team brings together. But I'm like, we were like, what, roughly somewhere floating 75, 80 people. If more people actually saw work as a good thing, I could probably start pushing towards 90 to 100 people. And if they all contributed in your manner, then we would already be, I mean, we would be sizably bigger than what we are. All of you would be making even more, and you would probably be making double to triple. But we're not there yet, and we're still moving forward, and we're getting there. So and there has been. What
I hear is I got something coming down the pipeline.
You all no, but the thing you say that, but you have gotten many somethings down the pipeline as we have been rolling down the pipeline together in general. You have always been the top priority of taking care of you because you always bring it. So I'm like.
He got a Wagoneer, but not for me.
That is not fair. That is so not fair. That because look,
although a Tesla's probably better.
That's
for me
not
now.
fair. I'm in a leasing program, and every year I swap out into another vehicle because I don't really have much of a desire just to own a depreciating piece of iron. Except for which I'll roll. I mean that should be getting done here in the next month. But I mean I'm like that 68 is going to be. Like I'll proudly claim that as a new car. When that thing's done, it's gonna be pretty bad. But you have progressively moved forward, both in your pay and in your bonuses and in your latitudes and freedoms given to you because you have shown that you take the responsibility seriously.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Oh, I don't even. That is such a crock of. Okay, I'm closing. I'm capping this. I weathered Matt's question. He told me he set me up for ahead of time.
Just look at the chairs.
No, oh my God, here we go with the chairs again. This is
just an example.
You know, that's not. But we were talking about accountability. You said that you wanted to get healthier, and I gave you a couple ways to get healthier.
A shit chair.
No. Oh my God. Are you executing those couple ways that I gave you to get healthier? What's in that cup? What's in that cup? Is there water in that cup?
There is water in the cup.
There is water in the cup.
There is
because the whole thing was drink a gallon of water first and then drink your unsweet iced tea, but start by killing the gallon.
Just water in the cup.
Like,
see, that's what okay, then you're not. That's accountability. You're not doing. You're supposed to start by drinking a gallon of water before you could move on to the unsweet.
How much have I lost in 30 days?
I don't know.
How much have you lost in 30 days?
28 pounds.
Have you really?
I'm so proud of you.
30 days.
You feel better?
No. I feel worse.
Oh.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm tired.
As fuck. All the time.
Okay.
I need sleep.
Maybe. I mean, maybe you need some supplements. Maybe you need. I mean.
No, just sleep.
That is. Make sleep a priority.
I think that this is where we cap the podcast. I think we just leave it right there. I think you and I go take a nap.
Okay.
Separately.
We are going to wrap up this episode. Yep. Thank you everybody for listening. Please share the show because I am a guy and I'm trying to build some shit. And at the end of the day, I mean, I wanted to have fun with this podcast, but
we always have fun.
Yeah, we do. But the point being, I wanted to put my perspective out there. I wanted to highlight small business entrepreneurs because quality of life is more important than life itself. And if you change your perspective, you can change your life. So please share the show. And until next time, you guys have a good day.